Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats for tonight's performance of Plaything.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Oh. It's no use.
Sorry.
You can't do it.
What?
I tried, it won't work. I told you. We're stuck.
What do you mean?
We're stuck.
You mean
Same thing, I came in through there, it closed behind me and it wouldn't open.
So why can't we just walk off the front and out those doors down the back?
Well, you tried it, didn't you?
Yeah, and there seems to be some kind of invisible barrier there.
The invisible fourth wall.
Pardon?
Oh, isn't it obvious? We're in a play.
In a play.
Look, just sit down here for a minute. Look.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
See, if we weren't meant to be here, we could just go down there and join them, couldn't we?
Well, I suppose so.
Or if we were really trapped here, then we could just call out for help, and I'm sure that some of them would come up and try and help us.
It's worth a try, isn't it?
Get gone.
Help! Help!
See, they just think it's part of the dialogue.
If we are in a play, then it is just part of the dialogue, isn't it?
Well, I suppose you're right, I hadn't thought of that.
And not only that, but every word and every action that's taking place so far is just part of some dumb play.
Well, not a dumb play. Strictly speaking, a dumb play wouldn't have any words at all.
Then what are you going to do?
Well, we'll just have to act.
But I don't know who I'm supposed to be. I don't know my lines. In fact, I can't remember anything since I walked through this door.
Me neither. Well, maybe it's stage fright.
Well, it's as if I didn't exist before walking onto this stage.
Well, maybe you're just playing the part of somebody who doesn't know who they are and can't remember any of their lines.
You mean like an amnesiac?
Yes, exactly.
Then who are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm obviously... I don't remember.
Oh, another amnesiac, perhaps? God, what kind of play is this?
Oh, it sounds like a bad soap opera.
Maybe we're just too incompetent
have to ad-lib then.
I thought we were ad-libbing.
Oh, I suppose you're right. I don't know what to say.
This is the worst play I've ever been in.
So you have been in other plays?
I don't know, I can't remember.
Well, can you remember anything?
Not since I came through that door. What about you?
Same, maybe we can piece it together. Okay, so what's the last thing that you remember?
The last thing I remember thinking is, this isn't the ladies.
Me too.
You thought you were going to the ladies.
No, the last thing I remember thinking is that this isn't the gents.
Right, so what does this tell us about our characters? That we're two amnesiacs with weak bladders?
Two amnesiacs with weak bladders and a poor sense of direction.
This is the worst play I've ever been in.
Well, hang on a sec. If we are just characters in a play, then we don't actually have to remember our lines. We can just say the sorts of things that our characters would naturally say.
What would two weak amnesiacs lost with, no idea, weak bladders? Say.
I don't remember.
Sounds promising.
Who are we?
Please don't mention we.
Sorry.
Oh, hang on. If, as you say, we are characters in a play,
Which, because we can't remember, we're assuming that we are.
then we really don't have to try to say what we assume our characters would say. We could say whatever we feel like saying, because whatever we would say would be what we're supposed to say.
I don't get you.
Well, I mean, we just have to sit here and our lines will naturally come bubbling forth.
Look, if I sit here much longer, more than my lines will come bubbling forth.
No, I mean, everything we have said so far has been our lines, and everything we shall say will be our lines.
So we just have to wait and our lines will happen to us.
In much the same way as ordinary speech happens to real people.
Okay, well, let's try it.
Yes. Oh!
Yes. Oh, well, this is useless. We can't just hope that our lines will spontaneously come to us. I mean, we have no idea of our characters or our characters' relationship with each other.
What do
I
you
mean, if
mean?
we knew that, we'd at least have a starting point.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, for example, are we lovers?
I've never seen you before in my entire life. At least what I can remember of
If
it.
that's the last 6 minutes.
Oh, you're not my type.
What? How do you know what your type is?
I don't know. It would be a spontaneous sort of thing.
No. You misunderstand. I don't mean to suggest that we're lovers in real life, whatever that may be. What I mean is that maybe those are the roles that we're meant to play in this play. I mean, here we are, you know, a man and a woman, alone, in a reasonable facsimile of a nice middle-class lounge room.
We're probably meant to be married.
Yes, possibly, or we could be brother and sister, or both.
Or we could be trapped on stage by some cruel director for the sake of some pathetic attempt at experimental theatre. Oh God, I want to go home.
Look, we just need to hold out to the end of the play.
But these experimental numbers can go on for days. Don't you laugh? You're going to have to sit there and watch it. At least you have spared that horrible fate. What kind of people come to see a play like this anyway?
Well, we're not really sure what kind of play this is yet.
Well, it's a stupid one if you ask me. What kind of people go to see any kind of play? A bunch of people in silly costumes.
Hey, but we look quite nice.
A bunch of people in silly costumes walking around some pathetic-looking mock living room in some drafty barn, all facing one so-called invisible wall, talking loudly and spraying the concrete roads with spit while they broadcast the petty fears and insecurities of some paranoid playwright who obviously doesn't have a firm grip on reality, or otherwise he would have a proper job and probably be earning better money and doing something far more positive for society than holding up a mirror to that overpaid, overeducated, egocentric 1% of the community that has nothing better to do, and indeed prefers to do nothing better than to vainly look at themselves in the mirror held up to them by a bunch of no-good-auntie theatre types. No, thanks.
What do you expect them to do?
Well, they can stay at home with their families.
What, watch a DVD?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, let's find out what they're missing out on then, shall we?
Oh, please! Stop over there!
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's great. Okay, now pump it. Yeah, all right, harder. That's it. Pump it. Yeah, come on, faster, faster. Yeah, you're doing it.
Hey, that was just getting good.
What kind of play have I got myself into?
Well, that's something you don't see on stage very often.
And you won't be seeing it on the stage either, Buster.
Well, that still leaves us not knowing who we are or how to act.
If only there were some other characters in this stupid play, then maybe we could work out who we are.
Did you see that?
What?
Then somebody just walked past the door.
What?
Hello? Hello? Help! Help! Damn it, he's gone.
Oh, maybe it was just an incompetent stagehand.
No, it had to be another character. I mean, you said if only there were another character and he appeared. It was even on cue!
Could have just been a coincidence.
This isn't real life, you know. There are no coincidences in the theatre. Now, try it again.
What?
The cue, the third actor's cue.
All right. If only there were some other characters in this stupid play, then maybe we could work out who we are. See?
Well, it was worth a try. Oh, what are we going to do?
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to empty my blood very soon.
Yeah, what's that?
Empty my bladder very soon.
No, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, me too. Oh, let's try the doors. Oh. Well, there's nothing for it. We're just going to have to go here.
What? On stage?
It's very simple. What's this? Cold tea. we empty this here. Yeah. And then refill it with our own resources.
Take a leak in a sherry bottle in public.
That's right.
I won't do it.
Suit yourself.
All right, I'll do it.
Whoa!
You cover me.
What?
Distract the audience.
Right. You know, it's times like this that I'm reminded that I can't recall ever having seen this kind of thing on stage before. But then again, I can't even recall my own name, so there could be millions of them. But it sort of makes me think, you know, maybe we're not in a play at all. Unless, of course, it's meant to be symbolic. Or perhaps a reference to Hamlet, you know, to pee or not to pee. And then the fact that Ophelia drowns in a river. And even the name Shakespeare. It implies a post-urinary activity common to men, but not necessarily to women.
Finished! Next.
Oh. Of course, if this is a play, then I'm not actually doing this. It's just sound effects and stagecraft.
I don't care. I feel much better now. Despite the public humiliation.
Oh, yeah, well, you would, wouldn't you? It's obviously a trait of the character that you're playing.
What? Feels relieved after peeing? It's universal. It's hardly anything to base a dramatic performance on.
Then again, if this is a play and not just a bunch of misinformed theatre patrons watching two big-bladdered amnesiacs on a stage, then we wouldn't even realise they were there, would we? Unless it was meant to be a pantomime or some kind of audience participation piece.
We're hardly participating. We're just sitting there staring.
On the other hand, we could be in a play about two characters who think they're trapped on a stage when in reality they're actually just in a sitting room going mad.
It happens.
Does it?
It's happening to me right now.
Or maybe it's meant to be an improvisational piece.
What do you mean?
Or maybe we're meant to make up our characters and our characters' relations to each
We've
other.
already done that, haven't we?
Eh?
We're meant to be two complete strangers with nothing in common who have...
Wait. We have things in common. We both don't know who we are or why we're here. We're both trapped on a stage and we both shared an intimate experience of a highly personal bodily nature.
It was hardly intimate. The only thing we shared was the inappropriate use of an empty sherry decanter.
Ah, yes, but in that inappropriately used sherry decanter are our two essential essences. In this jar, our two bees mingled be.
Who do you think you are, John Donne?
That's a possibility. Yes.
Yeah, right. Now, where was I? Oh, that's right. Our characters would seem to be two complete strangers with nothing in common who hate each other.
You hate me? You don't even know me. I don't even know me.
Believe me, once you get to know you, you'll hate you too.
Oh, that's really not fair.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I don't really hate you. I'm just playing a character that hates you.
What?
Or the character you're playing.
Yeah, I think we're assuming too much about this being a play. I mean, when have you ever seen a play like this?
Beside ones by Beckett, Pirandello, and Stoppard.
You've seen plays by all those guys?
I can't remember.
Yes, I mean, apart from the existential amnesiac thing, when have you seen, in popular culture, bodily functions of the kind that we witnessed here tonight?
Indeed, partaken in.
Exactly. Let alone used as one of the central themes and pretexts of the piece.
So?
Well, I mean, so if this is a play, then what's the meaning of the weak bladder thing?
The author could be a sick fuck.
Well, I think that goes without saying, no, but really.
It's a piss take.
Maybe, but what I think is that the author is attempting to break down barriers to show true reality.
People don't piss in sherry bottles in reality.
They might if they were trapped in a sitting room.
In reality, people don't get trapped in sitting rooms. Besides, if he was after realism, he would have stipulated a more realistic looking set.
What do you mean he?
The author, the playwright, whatever it is.
Yeah, how do you know the playwright is a he?
Fairly obvious, isn't it?
How?
You've got all the best lines.
No, I haven't.
Ah! Duh!
Okay, point taken. We need to find out why we're here, and what our purpose is.
Oh, fuck off!
Pardon?
Look, I don't go to the theatre to have to think.
Not a theatre. You're in a sitting room. Remember.
Okay, I don't go to a sitting room to have to think. I do that in the study.
With the lead pipe.
What?
I have no idea.
All this analysis, we shouldn't have to do that. It should be spelled out for us.
Maybe we should have bought programs.
Maybe we do, and they're still on our seats.
Maybe.
Anyway, we shouldn't have to work out what's happening. That's what theatre critics are for.
No, they're not. No, theatre critics are for panning the good plays and praising the crap ones.
What?
It's an industry thing, you know, it makes, it sort of helps keep the audience numbers up in the bad plays, and that way you don't realise they're bad until, of course, it's too late. And it also ensures that you can get a seat in the good plays and that you walk out pleasantly surprised, having expected them to be worse than they actually were.
Yeah, right. Well, we shouldn't have to work out what's going on. That's what they have to do.
Oh, hang on, a minute ago you said you don't go to the theatre to think. Now you're saying it's the audience's job to think. Don't you think?
I told you I'm not thinking.
No, I mean, don't you think you're expecting a bit too much of them?
Yeah. See your point. Well, whatever we do, that's what the play's about, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, I'm going to have a nap for the rest of the play. That's what the play can be about. The central theme of a woman sleeping. The subplot can be a man wasting his time trying to work out what he's supposed to be doing.
How come you get to be the central theme?
Okay, you be the central theme, I'll be the subplot.
It's going to make for a very boring play.
Like I care.
You could need the work.
No, the actress playing me could need the work. It's her tough luck taking such a stupid part in the first place. The play closes and she's unemployed tomorrow.
What?
Tell it to the playwright.
So I'm just meant to wander this stage by myself while you do nothing.
Soliloquize. This is your big acting moment.
Right then. I don't know what to say.
Ha! Maybe the playwright was a woman after all.
Oh, come on, help me, please.
Look, just why don't you do what I'm doing? If nothing happens, maybe they'll get bored and go home early. That way we'll be on stage sooner. That's the real point. Get over your side.
Still here.
Give them a chance.
I can't sleep, it's too bright.
It's not worrying me.
How can you sleep with all this light?
I don't know. Maybe I'm an experienced theatre patron. Why don't you try turning them on?
How?
The switch on the wall.
Doesn't work.
Try saying click really loud.
Click. Click! Oh, well, this is hopeless. I mean, not only do we not know who we are or why we're here, but we're just doomed to be trapped in the most boring play in the history of the theatre.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Well, for somebody who doesn't know who they are, you seem to be pretty damned opinionated about the arts.
If you were trapped in a piece of crap like this, you would be too.
I am!
You opinionated?
No, trapped!
Cheer up. Worse things happen at sea.
Like what?
Karaoke?
What?
Never mind. Look, something will happen. There'll be a plot point soon. Interval.
The door!
No!
No!
Shit!
Sorry. Thought this was the gents.
Who are you?
I'm afraid you got me there.
What are you doing here?
Well, I thought this was rather extravagant urinal, but it appears I was mistaken.
No, I mean, how did you get here?
Did you see through the door?
Before that.
No idea.
Ha! You have no idea who you are, how you got here, and what you're doing here.
Well, it's Saturday night. Isn't it? Well, I'm always like this on Saturday night. Aren't I? Well, look, sorry for interrupting your play thing. I'll just be on my way.
It's locked.
Right.
Yeah, so is that. And the other one.
Well, I might as well stay for a while then.
Don't you realise what's going on? All three of us are trapped on stage with no idea who we are, how we got here, and what we're supposed to be doing here.
So what?
So what are you going to do about it?
Party on! As usual. Ah, here we go, dry sherry.
Who knew that was going to happen?
Ooh, that tastes like piss.
All right?
Have we got anything else?
There's some cold tea in the drinks trolley.
I'll pass.
Yeah, so did we.
What?
Never mind.
Well, some party, time I split between the past, as I say.
It's not a party. It's a play. Okay, we just don't know what it's about.
At the moment, we think we're at some kind of blank metaphor about Boonwell-esque, inherent utility of existence, something.
Well, tell someone who gives a shit.
We thought we were.
Life's too short, I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, how?
Through the big gap between us and the audience.
You can't do that.
Why not?
There's an invisible wall there.
What?
An invisible wall.
Have you been drinking that sherry?
No, there is.
Yeah, right.
No, there really is. There's an impenetrable invisible wall right across the front of the stage. There!
Well, we'll just see how impenetrable this wall is.
1, 2.
I curse you, sound department.
Oh my God!
I would have expected a bigger crash.
Oh,
Hey, is he still breathing?
how do you tell?
You hold a mirror up to their face, and if they can still see themselves, they're not dead.
What about his pulse?
Okay. Well, he's either dead or he's an actor playing a character who's dead.
What now?
Well, if he's really dead, then we have to act fast, and if he's only playing dead, then we just have to act.
Can we take that chance?
Well, my character can.
Oh, my character can't! Oh, I'll just fight him. Oh, what do I do?
You'll have to give him first aid.
What if my character doesn't know first aid?
Well, you'll just have to assume that it does. Now, my character will talk you through it.
Right.
Now, that's right. Now, yes, that's good. Now put your hands on it. Yeah, now both hands. Yeah, that's good. Now pump it. Yeah, that's right. You're doing it. Yeah, harder. Good. Pump it. Faster. Faster. Yeah, you're doing it. Yeah, come on. Pump it. Pump it. What are you doing?
Fuck him, he's dead!
You can't just stop halfway through a resuscitation.
It's not a decision I made, it's one the author made.
How?
By giving you that dialogue from the DVD!
I'm sure it was just a bit of fun.
Exactly! He's just playing with us! Well, now he's got a stick on his hands! Now, you can see how funny it is to have someone's death on his conscience.
what this means.
What?
We're definitely in the play.
How come?
Third character enters, then dies in mysterious circumstances. That is a major plot point if ever I saw one.
Let's go down.
Now. Oh, wait, what's happening?
No idea. Maybe it's over. Strange ending. Let's go.
There will be a short interval of 10 minutes before the commencement of Act 2.
Great! Interval! Now what are we supposed to do?
It's interval.
Yeah, but I mean,
We're not supposed to talk.
just sit here for 10 minutes and do nothing.
That's the general idea.
But what about our existential crisis?
It'll have to wait. There's drinks to be sold.
Well, what kind of callous art form puts its protagonist, philosophical, psychological, and now legal dilemmas on hold while the audience goes and buys overpriced, watered-down booze served in plastic cups that they won't even have time to drink?
Ah! They have to make their money somehow. What are you doing?
I can't stand it. Click! Act 2 of tonight's performance will now commence. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. We were about to solve the mystery.
What mystery?
How he died, of course.
What's the mystery to that? He ran into the invisible wall between us and the audience.
And you're just going to say that to the next character who walks through that door?
Certainly, why not?
Even if they're wearing a policeman's uniform?
Right. I see your point. What else could have killed him?
What about this? Mere seconds after he drank from this bottle, he suddenly dropped down dead.
You mean we killed him?
It's one way of putting it. I would have used the term urine poisoning.
How can that be? It's perfectly harmless.
Oh yeah, have you tried it?
No, of course not.
Yeah, well, then how do you know?
I don't know. People had drunk urine before it all died.
Yeah, like who?
Maraji Desai.
Who?
Prime Minister of India, 1977-79. Every morning he drank a cup of his own urine, claiming it was beneficial to his health.
How come you can remember the bizarre drinking habits of an obscure Indian politician, yet you can't even remember your own name?
No idea. Anyway, he wasn't obscure at the time.
What do you mean he did it in public?
I don't know. Maybe it depended on where he was having his breakfast.
Well, why did he bother with a cup? I mean, surely with just a bit of practice, he could get it straight from the source and stay on the
Possibly.
Anyway, that was his own urine, that's why it didn't kill him.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like poisonous snakes are immune to their own venom, so if they bite themselves, then they won't die.
How do you know about snakes and their venom?
Herpetology.
And yet not know how you got here.
No idea! The point is, if Maraji Desai drank somebody else's urine one morning, then he might no longer be with us.
She is no longer with us.
Well, I can't pin that one on us.
I don't think that.
And in the case of our corpse here, he drank the combined urine of two complete strangers. Who knows what kind of chemical reactions went on in that bottle before he drank it. Not to mention the fact that we're both suffering from some kind of memory loss, possibly caused by a virus or bacteria. He could have gotten a double dose and completely forgotten how to breathe.
But he hit the wall. Surely that's what killed him.
Yeah? What about this? Sorry.
Kind of bizarre paranormal phenomenon.
We killed him.
It wasn't intentional. We tried to stop him drinking it, but he wouldn't listen.
They won't believe us.
Why not?
It's a play! For God's sake, they never believe rational explanations in plays, especially not one as irrational as this one. And for all we know, this play could be set in a foreign country where they have the death penalty for malicious urine poisoning.
Not India, then.
Probably not.
Ooh, we have to do something. Wait a second. This being a play, he's not really dead, is he? He's only acting dead.
Or playing the part of a corpse.
Exactly.
Your point being?
Let's tickle him.
Wait, hold it right there! You can't just go around tickling corpses back to life.
Why not?
It's against all the precepts of modern theatre. Can you imagine if actors just went around tickling other actors? The whole concept of drama would be destroyed. Imagine if Rosencrantz and Guildenstern tickled Hamlet. The play would be over in 15 minutes. Going out the dark, brooding Prince of Denmark, rolling around the floor in hysterics. And besides, it's the character that's dead, not him. Tickling the actor out of character won't bring the person that he's playing back to life.
Spoil all my fun.
We can search his pockets, though.
What for?
Clues, of course. It could be an important plot point. He might have clues to our identity in his pockets. Nothing. No money, no ID. Zip.
Hang on, I've got something.
What is it?
A theatre ticket?
What?
The man was an idiot.
Strictly ballroom.
He's not even in the right play.
Front row seats too.
Oh, we have to do something with this body before they get here.
Who?
The people you said won't believe us when we tell them we didn't kill him on purpose.
Right.
Where?
Under the sofa.
There is no under the sofa.
Oh, under the sofa cushions then.
What if they sit on him?
Well, that's a chance we'll have to take.
Right. Oh, God.
We should reconsider our strategy. Oh, right. No, don't push! Oh, God! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Greg, he's heavy. Hurry up.
Oh, quick. Okay. I'll roll him on. Come on. Get out of there. Oh, Lord. I haven't done Well, it's no good. You can still see him.
What about your jacket over his feet?
What about his head?
Your trousers.
No way.
My scarf.
Good idea. Now we can relax.
Get uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's theatre furniture. It stops the actors from falling asleep.
What do we do now?
We just sit and wait.
Sit and wait.
Yep.
Sit and wait. That's what we've been doing all this time.
Oh, not the whole time. You know, we paced a bit, killed the guy.
Well, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being in this stupid play. We're not real. We don't have any kind of defined personalities, no endearing qualities, and as a result, nobody could give a shit whether we live or die. We're just playthings for him, just a paid platform for his half-baked philosophies on self-pity and cheap, tacky sense of humor. Frankly, pathological obsession with urine. Theatre-based penal colonies as punishment for something we can't remember that we did on another planet. Wait a second, I'm doing it again. That's one of his half-baked
You can always drink the sherry.
Yeah, good idea. Oh, wait a minute, I'm scaring out a sick obsession again. We just can't win.
Come on. Buck up. Could be worse.
How?
He could have an unhealthy obsession with shit. Look, somebody will come along soon. I know they will.
Why?
Well, because the play doesn't make sense otherwise. There has to be another character.
It hasn't made sense to imply why should it stop now?
No, there will be an explanation before the end. There has to be. Look! Here they are now!
There's no one there.
Damn, I thought that might work.
What if someone does come along? What are we going to say?
Help?
We're in a strange place, set in a strange living room, God knows where. This could be set in Finland for all we know. Finns could come in. They won't know who we are or what we're saying.
Well, at least we'll feel at home.
Finns, they're going to find two complete strangers in their living room and a corpse. The police will record an autopsy held and they'll find traces of our urine in his digestive system.
There won't be time for an autopsy. The play has to be almost over.
There's still time for a quick impromptu court scene. And how do we plead? Not guilty of murder using the invisible wall defense. No jury in Plaything would agree us.
Look, they're here.
You're right.
No, they're really here.
Oh my God, what are we going to do?
Panic!
Ah! Darling, how lovely to see you.
Well, they're not Finns.
When did you arrive? Right at the beginning. But you should have come and fetched us. Oh, we would have if we'd been able to open the doors.
And you must be
Yes!
the new man in her life?
Oh, you mean she hasn't told you about me?
Of course she has.
So what's my name?
Well, it's,
Oh, there have been so many. There have?
well, you know what we mean.
You don't know, do you? You don't know who I am, you don't even know who she is.
Of course we do.
She's our daughter.
Niece. My niece and his daughter.
I married her aunt after her mother, my previous
and
wife.
my sister. You're just making this up as you go along.
Oh yeah, no, we've covered that.
You mean they know?
Yeah.
I suspect they're feeling in their bums by now.
Look, we've been stuck here for God knows how long, with no idea who we are or what we should be doing, vainly clinging to the hope that someone, you, might come along in the second act and explain everything.
Sorry.
You can't explain everything.
Anything?
I'm afraid not. Oh, what?
We're from
Do you
the
even know
Plaything.
what your names are?
Of course we do.
Really?
Well, no.
We're from the play next door, you see.
What play next door? There's another theatre next door.
No. The next play along in the right is mine.
He has two plays in his mind?
Oh, at least he's very prolific.
So it's all in his mind.
Yep.
Even the audience.
You don't think this thing would ever be produced in public, do you?
So, they're figments of our imagination.
No. They're figments of his imagination.
Oh, God help us.
Anyway, we had an exit, so we thought we'd pop in and say hello.
You're allowed exits? How come we're not allowed exits?
Perhaps he doesn't trust you.
But he created us.
He should have made you more trustworthy.
Ah, well, that's just shoddy workmanship, if you ask me.
So this play you're in, what's it about?
Oh, it's very good. It's about a man and a woman in this room,
And
and
nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
not much.
She holds a big pair of scissors.
Pruning she is.
Of course! That's what they are.
And I hold this newspaper.
The newspaper! Could be a clue.
Oh, what does it say?
It's in Finnish. Oh, sorry.
Oh, what? Because you old people have been around so much longer, you were supposed to be wiser and have it all worked out.
Not at all. It just means that we've been living in fear and confusion for longer. If anything, we're more rattled than you young folk. Still, mustn't complain. We still have our health.
So what do you do in this play?
Oh, there are lots of things to do to take our mind off the
Meaninglessness of it all?
I was going to say boredom.
Yeah, like?
Well, we make up stories. Like who we are and what we do, etc.
And there's just the two of you.
There is now.
There was a dumb man. Charming fellow, so full of life. We pretended he was our son.
Our only son.
We were so proud. He was so entertaining. He used to keep us, our minds off the, well, as you say, perpetual meaninglessness.
Then, for seemingly no reason whatsoever, he just gets up and leaves.
We haven't seen this.
Oh, God.
The uncertainty that's the worst. Not knowing where he went, what became of him. Even if we were to discover that he'd been killed in some horrible circumstances, we should at least take away the burden of never being sure.
I have something I have to show you. This could be disturbing.
What? Oh!
Oh, they've got corpse too.
We put ours in the closet.
That's not your son.
That's that ugly bastard.
Oh, God, I can't stand it any longer. Two plays, side by side, with not a single plot between them, populated entirely by individuals who don't know who they are, why they're here, or what they should be doing. Oh, God, if there's a government grant involved in this production, then by golly, I'm going to write a letter of complaint to the Minister of the Arts. You can bet on that.
You make me sick.
Pardon?
You make me sick. Constantly going on and on and on about not having any plot, not having any character. You're in a play, for God's sake. There are real people out there with less character than you. But you don't hear them complain, do you? No. They get on with their lives. They don't have an author to blame for their pathetic, meaningless lives like you do. They only have themselves to blame. At least you've got an excuse.
Yes, but at least they know who they are. They have a childhood they remember, parents who know them, friends who recognize their charming, beaming, happy smiles. They have memories. But we have no history, we're just here.
And what's so bad about that? Well, look at what you've got. A well-appointed sitting room. Or a well-stocked bar. Oh, pretty snazzy entertainment system by the looks of things. And the love of a beautiful female companion.
Oh, we haven't established that yet.
Give it time, my dear, give it time. There are only so many storylines, you know.
And a full house to boot, or near as damn it. You should be grateful. You could be in a musical. Or some period piece wearing ridiculous costumes, suffering from the plague or advanced syphilis. Or you could be involved in one of those horrible tragedies with gore, bodies, murder, betrayal, mayhem. Oh, you wouldn't be whinging about not having any plot then. You wouldn't have time to sit down complaining about not having any character. And you'd be begging for less plot.
Isn't that why people come to the theatre for escapism? Surely they want to escape the problems of reality and not have it shoved in their face.
I know I do.
Or do they? Maybe they want to wallow in their own petty miseries and... God.
It's not for us to decide, my dear. We're merely pawns in this game. What people go to see has to do with the marketplace, the times, the publicity, the reviewers, and the politics of the theatre. Politics? Oh, you know who's up who, how they feel about it, and how much money they can all scan.
So, there's no escape for us.
I'm afraid not. All we can do is say our lines.
Or not say our lines.
And leave the rest of it in the laps of the gods.
What about a toast?
Jolly good idea.
Oh, yeah, no.
Wait a minute, we're just going to have a quick aside, actually. Let's do it.
But that's the sherry! Our sherry is deadly! It'll kill us all!
Exactly.
What do you mean?
As the old girl pointed out, we're stuck here till the powers that be decree. And as lovely as the old guy makes it out to be, frankly, I could live without it.
Oh, not live without it.
Whatever. The point is, if it's a choice between spending the rest of my life rattling around in a well-appointed sitting room, making up stories about who I am and what I'm doing, or drinking my own urine and dropping dead, then I know which one I'd rather choose.
But what about them? We'd be killing them as well.
Ah, they're pathetic. Him with his Helsinki Times under his arms and her with a pair of big scissors. We'd be putting them out of their misery. And besides, they brought up the idea of the toast, and as we've heard, we're not responsible for our actions. The writer is.
Okay, well, no offense to you, you seem a nice enough guy and all, but the idea of spending the rest of my life with you isn't the most cheering thought. Let's do it.
Ready for that turn?
Sure are.
To meaninglessness.
And to an end to meaninglessness.
Oh, is that the time? Oh! I've wet myself again.
You should have used the sherry bottle before we left here. We'd better get back. Our audience will be wondering what on earth is happening.
What the hell?
Cheers.
We're not dead!
No shit, Shylock.
Unless we are dead. And this is hell. Or heaven.
Look, I think I'd know if I was dead, all right?
Would you? What if hell and heaven and death is all exactly the same as life?
What would be the point?
Oh, what's the point anyway?
Maybe it's just a dosage thing.
Maybe.
Perhaps one glass wasn't enough.
What are you calling a piss week?
We just need more to do the job.
Fine, fill me up. Bottoms up. Oh, it's sweeter than I imagined.
That's my contribution.
Well, you're not diabetic, are you?
No, not that I know of. No, I just mean I have a sweet disposition.
Yeah, right.
I do. Just don't know me well enough.
Oh, you don't even know you well enough.
Good point. What do you think happens
What?
when we're dead?
Oh, we slump over here, the audience applauds, and then they go home.
No, I mean to us.
Oh, we die.
Yeah, but after that?
Oh, worms, incineration. Look, it's not going to be our problem.
No, I mean, do you believe in an afterlife, reincarnation, whatever?
You forget, I don't remember what I believe in. I could be the fucking Pope for all I know. As for life after death, well, we'll find out. Or not.
Well, that's what worries me.
What?
Not finding out.
Go on.
Well, when you're a kid, you're told about God who lives in heaven and looks after you and answers all your prayers, and that when you die, you'll go up there and everything will be all right. But then, as you get older, you begin to realize that, okay, God didn't really answer any of my prayers. Maybe I was too selfish. I prayed for, I don't know, world peace, sight for the blind, food for starving children. God still doesn't answer. And then you begin to realize that not only doesn't God answer, but he seems to be fairly ambivalent to everything. The innocent are continually punished, and the guilty more often than not get rewarded. It's a pretty short jump from God is a callous bastard to God doesn't exist, which makes you think that if there is no God, then more than likely after death there's nothing, only oblivion, which is hardly fair.
Yet in keeping with the rest of reality.
Ugh, look, I don't have a problem with oblivion. That's fine. Disappear me. I couldn't care less. But it would be only decent if just prior to oblivion there was a period of grace where you get all the answers to the questions of life. Like when you do a quiz in a magazine and the answers are at the bottom of the page.
Upside down.
Huh. Or like at school, in the back of the book. So when you're finished, you can at least check out what you got right and what you got wrong and which ones you should have guessed.
Yeah, like, of course, humans and aliens are the same thing. It's just that the humans are from the future instead of the aliens. And, just as I suspected, the Chinese did nab Harold Holt in a mini-sub.
Yeah, that kind of thing, although I was thinking on a slightly more profound level, like, you know, meaning of life, why we're here, etc. I don't mind dying. I just want to know what all the correct answers were.
What
How
if,
well I did.
what if, though, it's entirely interpretive?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, so you're not marked on the correct answers, but on sort of its opinions and points of view. So you get marked on how well you expressed yourself.
Look, I don't
Yeah?
care whether I fail or get a high distinction. I just want the facts. I hardly think that marks are going to count for much in Oblivion.
More sherry.
Duh.
Who drinks sherry anyway?
People in plays.
Fair enough.
You think we'll ever find out?
Oh, well, that assumes that whoever or whatever created us knows the answers.
That's a point.
Maybe that's why we haven't died yet.
Because Bugaloves is an idiot.
No, because if we die, then the play is finished without having resolved itself.
Who cares?
Oh, I'm sure they care. They paid to see this, and
I repeat, who cares?
Look, we're never going to get up to this stage if we don't tie up the loose ends.
Such as?
Well, for example, from a dramatic point of view, before we can die and the play can finish, a crisis has to be overcome and a resolution reached.
Being trapped on stage not knowing who you are and why you're here isn't crisis enough for you? And you don't think drinking our own piss, committing suicide by drinking your own piss won't overcome that crisis?
I suppose you're right. But what about our characters?
Well, up there, all.
Well, I mean, precisely, apart from being brought into this world a tad undeveloped for my liking throughout the course of the evening, we haven't changed at all, and we're supposed to change.
I think going from mildly embarrassed and confused to suicidal in under an hour is a pretty substantial change.
Yes, but what have we learned?
Not to go to the theatre again. If you do, make sure you empty your bladder before you leave home.
Look, do you want this play to remain at its present cynical, fairly frivolous level, or to go deeper and really say something?
I don't care. I just want to die so we can all go home. Anyway, it's not up to us to make the play say something. It's up to him. And if he doesn't know what it is he wants to say, then excuse my somewhat out of character language one more time, but fuck him.
But a number of deep philosophical questions have been raised that demand to be answered.
Like?
Like, well, how does a woman pee through the narrow neck of a sherry bottle?
Many years of training at night, I imagine. Hey, who's being carried now?
Sorry, but it had to be asked.
What's your problem? Just because a whole bunch of questions have been raised doesn't necessarily mean they have to be answered. There aren't any answers in real life, so I don't see why they should be expected in the theatre. The playwright isn't God, for Christ's sakes. It's just a person who can't get a proper job and has too much time on his hands to worry about things best left alone.
Yes, but what is he trying to say here? Is it the essential futility of existence, or is it the lack of control that ordinary people have over their own lives, or is it the apparent random and arbitrary nature of fate?
Look, I just work here, okay? It isn't up to us to explain what the play's about, or not about. If the playwright has a problem communicating his own point of view or answering his own questions, then maybe he should stick to writing jokes for a living. Or get a proper job. Now just hurry up and drink your piss and die, okay? Besides, if he had all the answers to all his own questions, why would he need to write a play in the first place? He'd start a religion or write a self-help book, surely. He can't answer any of his lame psycho-philosophical questions in the first place. He's written the thing in the first place. He wants them to answer them for him. Why do you care anyway? You want to get off the stage as much as I do, don't you?
Yes, of course. I mean, I think I did. I mean, I do. I just, oh God, I hate it here. The confusion,
Boredom.
the lack of control.
The apparent random and arbitrary nature of events.
Yeah, that's true. But once it's over, I'm going to miss.
Me?
No, me. My character. I don't know who I am or why I'm here, but I kind of like me. And as soon as I either slump over here or walk out there, my character or lack of character will cease to exist.
Yeah, but you become who you were before you were you. You become one of them. The added bonus of you weren't seen this play.
Yeah, that's the point.
Besides, if the play's any good, our characters will live on night after excruciating night.
Maybe we'll be published and studied in schools.
Wait a minute, that's it.
And then some smart kid will work out all the answers, and he'll write a
There's
letter
gonna
to
be
the
somewhere
playwright.
and just a draft copy.
And the playwright will publish a blog or some kind of annotated footnote on York.
There it is! The book that has the art in the back, the Plaything!
I haven't finished what I was going to say yet.
I haven't finished what I was going to say yet.
That's not in there, is it?
That's not in there, is it?
You're just repeating everything I
that
say. Okay, then what am I going to say next?
Random word generated tweezle flop. See? And look, it's written by a man too.
Could be a pseudonym. Hey, give us a look at that. And we haven't even got names.
It's all there
Everything we said.
and did. What page are we up to?
79. There's only 2 more to go.
She looks over his shoulder. They both start to read the script.
Yeah, you're not supposed to read that bit. It's a stage direction.
Sorry, pause. This is going to make the rest of the play easy.
Oh yeah, I wish we'd found this earlier. We wouldn't have had to think up all those lines.
We did it, he did.
Flip to the back and see what the answers are.
Oh, all right, what have we got to lose? The girls off stage, and they can go home. They flip through to the last page.
That's another stage direction.
The whole last page is stage directions. They act as if they're reading the page to themselves.
They look outraged on finding no answers whatsoever.
She turns the book upside down in a vain hope to find the answers, but can't.
They look at each other in despair.
They shrug.
Suddenly behind them, the doors open.
He drops the book and says, "Let's run for it."
She says, okay, and they exit. Let's run for it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. If you close the door.
Yes, sir.